Amazon locks man out of smart home devices over false racism claims. First off, even though the guy is black, they try to say that say he used some type of racial slur, and then this guy didn't break any laws. He purchased the device, so why would they lock him out of his smart home? I mean, this is crazy. Like I said, we have these companies are utterly against freedom of speech. So even if he did say something racist, so what? I mean, we have our freedom of speech where we are allowed to say what we want, especially in our own home. So this is just ridiculous. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Amazon locked a Microsoft engineer out of his smart home devices for nearly a week after a delivery driver accused him of uttering a racial slur. First off, who cares what someone calls someone else? They actually went and told, think about this. They thought they heard somebody say a racial slur. They went and complained to their boss about that. I mean, who cares what someone else says or what someone else thinks? These people are so soft. But anyway, according to a June 4th blog post on Medium, Brandon Jackson found himself locked out of his Amazon Echo show on May 25th. When he contacted customer service, he was given a number of an Amazon executive, which he thought was a scam. Quote, when I connected with the executive, they asked if I knew why my account had been locked, he wrote. When I answered I was unsure, their tone turned somewhat accusatory. I was told that the driver who had delivered my package reported receiving racist remarks from my Ring doorbell. Jackson, who is black, said that the accusation was improbable as many of the delivery drivers in his area are the same race. Thus, the racial slur was highly unlikely. Jackson tracked down the time that the driver would have dropped off his package, May 24th, at 6:05 p.m., and compared it to footage from his home at the time of the incident, revealing that nobody was home at the time of the delivery. Instead, Jackson thinks that his UFI, I don't know what that is, that his UFI automated doorbell said to the driver, "Excuse me, can I help you?" The driver, who was walking away and wearing headphones, must have misinterpreted the message, wrote Jackson, adding that even after he shared the evidence with Amazon, his account remained locked. Quote, despite numerous calls and emails, it wasn't until Friday afternoon on May 26th that I received a confirmation that the investigation had started, he wrote, adding that it wasn't until May 31st that access was finally restored. This is just as crazy that they would do something like this. So, I mean, if anyone had any of these smart devices to lock their doors and things like that, I would advise against it because they could just simply lock you out. This is crazy. And in a statement to NTD News, Amazon said, quote, we learned through our investigation that the customer did not act inappropriately, and we're working directly with the customer to resolve their concerns while also looking at ways to prevent a similar situation from happening again. Now, while he was locked out of the Amazon account he typically used for his smart home devices, Jackson said he had already thought ahead about alternative ways to control his devices. Smart guy. Quote, I already had everything set up, so if something did fail, I had fallbacks, so I wasn't truly in the dark, Jackson explained in a subsequent video post about the experience. Quote, but I wrote my blog post from the perspective of someone who, what if they didn't do all of that? And mind you, he's an engineer. Jackson is a Microsoft engineer at Microsoft and is relatively tech savvy, shared his concern for owners of smart home devices who didn't have the same knowledge base and find themselves locked out in a similar incident. I mean, just imagine though, because so they can lock you out of your home because of something you said. even though he didn't say it, even if he did say it though, he have a right to say that. He's at his own home. He can say whatever he want. Who's ever on his property. Who cares? But Amazon took it upon themselves to lock this guy out of his home. But he said the incident led him to lose trust in Amazon due to how it kept him locked out through the duration of the ordeal. Quote, I fully support Amazon taking measures to ensure the safety of their drivers. However, I question why my entire smart home system had to be rendered unusable during their internal investigation, he wrote. Jackson also argued that Amazon or other companies shouldn't be able to block people from using the product they purchase because they express the wrong opinions. I agree. So what's next? Because you believe in because you're a MAGA person, they can shut you out of your smart home, or because you don't believe in the whole LGBTQ agenda stuff, they can lock you out of your smart devices. This is ridiculous. They can basically lock you out for anything. But quote, if you brought a toaster, right? It doesn't matter what you did, how bad of a person you were, or how good of a person you are, you still own that toaster at the end of the day, right? Jackson said. He goes on to say, and if you really did do something that was so horrible and bad that shouldn't be Amazon or Google or Apple to call to do anything about it. Yeah, it shouldn't be their call. I agree. And he goes on to say, we already have a system set up for that, and that's what you should be going through. But this is all part of the DEI agenda. See, that's why they're pushing these companies to do the whole DEI stuff, and so you can be politically correct and things like that. So these companies can start applying it to the consumers now, and that's what this whole thing is a whole social credit score. So now they don't like what you're saying, they shut you out of the business. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time. Peace.